Hey, we are back with another episode of Terra Invicta, your favorite Dungeons and Dragons show. That's probably not the case.
Better
Maybe there's a
be.
handful of
If
you.
they're watching it and listening to it right now, it probably is their favorite.
That you know what? That's probably true. That is probably true. We have a very small but very dedicated fan base. We got a new patron the other day, which was very fun. And even though he mentioned Burning Wheel as the thing that he was really excited about, I know he's been watching Terra Invicta too. So, yeah, shout out to you, Ben. Thank you for
what
for
a great
support.
name.
I know.
I'm gonna name my next son after you.
In all honesty, she was gonna name her next.
Actually, in all honesty, it is Benjamin.
Yeah,
but anyway,
exactly.
but what an honor.
It's all about the Benjamin.
See, that's the thing, guys. If you give on Patreon, we will name our children after them. That's the dedication. Okay, so where we last left off for Terra Invicta, we found out that there's been a murder. What's his face?
That's lightning.
Oh, I see. What's his face? Zondalan had been supposedly committed suicide. That's the official story right now, because nobody knows that Anna sent him on a top secret mission to spy on Luna. And
man, Haunted Mansion should really be sponsoring us for this episode.
I'd take any sponsorship at this point. So sure.
This is our murder mystery episode, you know?
I don't think you would take any sponsorship, Caleb.
Yeah, you know that's
No,
right.
You're correct. You're correct. I was being hyperbolic.
Yeah. I'm like, I know a few that you would not want to take.
Yes, there are many. So you guys got back, and that's the news you got, right? I think we said like Lavinia was filling you in when you got back to her manor. So what's the plan, folks?
Shrug our shoulders and pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I was
That's what
gonna
I
say
figured.
clearly we have to put on a fake mustache and a monocle and create a pipe.
Yep.
And
Audrey grows a real
plaid hat.
mustache.
Exactly.
I'd probably pull Audrin aside.
Okay.
Because
Maybe as like Takewee's getting more details from Lavinia, you just like grab him
because I'm pretty sure has the best investigation. Maybe
He has the best most
Yes.
things.
Yeah, so
it's a pretty good bet that if you're looking for the best at something, it's probably Audrin.
I don't know about that. Don't come at me with intimidation or medicine, okay?
Hey, I can do those.
So I think I'd pull Audrin aside and be like, Audrin, it's my fault.
Sorry, I was trying really hard to find a joke in that. I couldn't think of anything.
She's feeling guilty and you're making jokes.
Well, Audrey doesn't automatically know that she means that it's her fault that he's dead.
I mean, that was the last news that you
Yeah.
just received, so it's a good assumption.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. What do you mean it's your fault?
Audrin, there's no way he killed himself. I mean, there's a really, 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 really small chance, I guess, but I don't believe it.
I mean, you seemed pretty depressed.
Audrey, it's my fault he's dead. I hired him to watch after Luna while we were gone. And now we come back and he's dead.
Does Audra know that she was already suspicious of Luna? We've already been over this as a party.
We
right?
did this during our confession circles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
Circle time.
Yes, the circle of fourths. Yeah, so Audra nods and he goes, well, then I don't think it's your fault. I think that would make it Luna's fault.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been going after her if it wasn't for me. But I don't think I can really. I think I have to stay away from it because of the optics of me hating Luna for other reasons. Which isn't true, by the way. I only hate her because she's evil.
I mean, it's a good reason to
But
hate somebody.
can you? Yeah, I feel like though. Can you launch an investigation into his death?
Audrin like taps his chin for a second, and then he like spins around and goes, "I cry foul play. I think we should launch an investigation into his death."
Yeah,
Tapey
Lavinia
like
looks up
turns
from-
around and like
Yeah, Lavinia looks up from their conversation too, and just says, "What do you mean, Audrin?"
you don't think he killed himself? What makes you think that?
Everyone knew that he was in a depressive episode, Audrin. I don't think this is too far-fetched.
Yeah, even I knew that.
Because if he was going to kill himself, probably one, there's a decent chance he would have already done it sooner. Like, why now? Two, even if that was the case, doesn't it seem a little odd to you that that resurrection spells aren't bringing him back?
Do you
How
know
did
how
he-
resurrection
how-
spells work, Audrin? If someone
Person has to
doesn't
be
want to
willing.
come back, then they won't. Why do you think if he did kill himself, he would want to come back? This all
How-
lines up pretty perfectly.
How did he die?
And I think probably it was something like jumping off of a cliff or something that wouldn't have been like it's not he stabbed himself or anything like that, because it would be hard to get. If Luna did do this, right, it would be hard to get that to look like a suicide. So it was probably hit like they found his body crumpled below a cliff or something, right?
And maybe
Like
that's
maybe
what-
off like one of the watchtowers or something.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. Yeah, it was at night, I think they said.
Well, there's more than one way to figure out if he doesn't want to come back or not. It's magic.
Wait, hold on. I had a conversation with him already about him wanting to like potentially end his life, right?
Yes.
And he already like he mentioned how he was planning on doing it.
I believe so. He was definitely close to something like that.
Right, but I don't think this was the method he had in mind.
I don't remember specific that he gave you specifics.
Okay.
I mean, he may have mentioned something like, "Oh yeah, maybe one of these days I'll put a dagger in myself," but like that does not. It's not confirmation that he was planning on doing that particularly, right?
I just wasn't sure if there was like a point in the conversation where he specifically.
I don't think he ever gave you like a specific plan he had to kill himself or anything like that. No.
Okay. Or like a specific method.
Of
Okay.
course, people in the comments might completely contradict me there, but
I was gonna flip through my notes, but I don't even remember when that happened. So
yeah,
That
that was a
was
while
during
ago.
the drunk.
yeah, but I don't remember when.
It was
what
right
episode
before
it
we
was.
left.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't think he said like, like I'm planning on killing myself and this is how I'm gonna do it.
No,
Like
he
it
didn't
wasn't
say
like
anything
that.
like that.
I literally just have Audrin talks to Zane. That's all I have written down in my notes.
I have Audrin talking to Zan and Bart. He's super depressed.
Very helpful, guys.
Um,
But I think Deli would just say like,
Isn't there a way?
no, correct me if I'm not. I wouldn't know this, but Deli would say,
Isn't there a way to talk with corpses?
I suppose so. Yes, we could cast Speak with Dead.
Why not try
I kn-
that?
We could if you actually think this is anything more, but I
Might as well.
Lavinia,
Lavinia, if anything, how are the Jade Ravens doing with this? I'm sure they must feel at fault. At least if we cast the spell, we can maybe give them some kind of closure. I don't know.
Yeah, he says none of them are doing very well at all. They just came back a bit before you did, and I should think of what she'd say. They're all devastated, of course. Tolan's more angry than anything. He feels like it's his fault.
Well, exactly. Maybe if we could cast Speak with Dead,
No, please go ahead. That's fine.
And
I
get
just
some
wanted to
closure
warn
for
you
them.
in case this is exactly what it looks like.
We're gonna need some help. I can't cast it.
I think Benedict can.
Okay.
I think we'll have to
Batman?
wait till I think we'll have to wait until tomorrow, though. He doesn't have. It's unlikely he had that prepared.
Fine. We'll prepare a ceremony for. I'll prepare a burial site for him.
It's
and-
already being done.
Guys, it's my fault that he's dead.
You just say that out loud.
We all
Yeah.
turn.
What do you mean, Anna?
It's not the Jade Raven's fault. It's my fault.
Well,
What are you talking about?
Anna, it's no one's fault.
Yes, it really is my fault.
Are we like out in public around everyone while she's saying
No,
this?
we're in her office.
No, you're in her manor.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, in her study or something.
The night
Actually-
before we left.
Like, people just need to stop blaming
No.
themselves.
No one did it. Yeah.
Yes, someone did do it.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I actually roll an investigation check to see if I can catch any leads just from everything that we know so far?
Let's finish up the conversation here, and then
Okay.
we can do something like that.
And I just I spoke with him the night before we left and that morning. And I asked him to do something for me.
Ask him to do what?
In exchange for paying for all of his drinks for the whole rest of the time we're here.
This is your fault, Anna.
He got too drunk.
Yeah.
He was gonna follow Luna.
What do you mean follow Luna? I'm confused. What's happening?
Anna has her suspicions about Luna.
Lavinia gives you a look like, oh, honey. Like, we know you like Nestor, but this is not the way. Like, she doesn't
And
say
I'm just
that,
ki-
but yeah.
And I'm like, that's why I haven't brought it up to everyone, because I know that they're just gonna think it's because of Nestor. And like, I don't even think about him in that way anymore right now because there's too much else going on. She's not who she says she is. She's bad.
Well, then I guess we definitely need to know what Zahn did.
And that's why it's my fault he's dead, and that's why I was gonna try and stay away from the investigation.
Anna, we don't
so it
know
doesn't
for
look like
sure
I'm
yet.
tampering.
That's fine, but please don't tell this to anyone else. Let's not start rumors before we need to. And I want... Who has the best perception?
Probably Jordan.
Me.
Oh, it was you?
I have +10.
Oh, dang. I've had
Um,
gambling.
Yeah, I just realized I'm not actually on roll 20. Let me do that.
You're not even on roll 20.
I did
Yeah.
notice that. I looked down and I'm like, it was not
I don't
even
know how
on
I-
roll 20.
I don't know how I forgot that, but here we are.
What has chat been looking at this whole time? Just us?
Us.
Just us, yeah. I mean, we
beautiful
have
faces.
the just the faces screen, right? And I haven't gone to the roll 20 screen yet, so. So yeah, let me just try to find what this would be.
There's something I can do too.
What's Takewe's passive perception?
20.
Jeez
Rick.
Louise.
Yeah.
Can we give her guidance with this?
What? Okay, well, my passive perception is just 20.
Yeah.
So do I just?
and I think you just pass it. Yeah, he just couldn't. He needed to get like a critical to succeed. So, Takewee, you realize that Avner was coming here to like talk, like maybe demand something from Lavinia on behalf of his uncle or something, and he was in the hallway listening to the whole conversation.
I immediately
But you can catch him, right? That's yeah.
like I probably like hear like hit like a creak like on
Yeah,
like
exactly,
the floor, and then I just like open the door, drag him in. I'm just like and shove him, and I'm just like, someone was listening.
I am a free citizen of this town, and I can go where I please. It's
Listening
open
to a
office
private
hours.
conversation.
Lavinia is currently
And she, like, shoves
available
him.
for. Yeah.
Like-
I was here on official business. He does as he like straightens his jacket, and I just happened to overhear something that should be shared with the public. He looks at Lavinia. Lavinia looks at the rest of you guys.
Can I intimidate him
Sure, yeah.
to submission? Just like, Abner, until we need more, you need to shut your mouth because it's going to cause paranoia, and we don't need that right now.
What? What are you going to do with me? Do to me, Takewee? You can't. You're not gonna murder me. This is a civilized town. We're not in the jungle anymore.
Would you like to go back into the jungle?
I'll drag you back into the jungle and
I'll
murder
drag you
there.
back in
there. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think a 27 probably cuts it.
Yeah.
Take
So-
my savior.
Yeah. Abner like swallows. Well,
Because basically she says something along the lines of, you could go back in there, and if you don't keep your mouth shut, that's what place is going to turn into again. Because people are going to go crazy.
Sure. Yeah, he swallows and then he says, well, I mean, we can obviously wait for to ask the corpse the questions you were going to ask, but after that, this needs to go public.
Oh, I agree.
If someone was murdered, then it's bad. Right?
I agree, Abner. Of course, we all agree on that. But until we can prove that he did not kill himself, we need to keep quiet.
Very well.
Deli
well.
will speak up and say,
Lavinia, how long ago did what's his name?
what was his name again?
Zon.
How long ago did Sean die?
Oh, you're sorry. I just remembered you're talking to Lavinia.
Yeah, who else would I ask?
I like literally glanced to like Alyssa and then Jordan and then Emily, and I was like, wait, who was he asking? Oh,
Oh, me.
yeah.
It's me.
I forgot.
Hi.
How long ago did he die?
I'm trying to remember. It was
Was it within the last 24 hours?
no, it wasn't in the last 24
Okay,
hours.
never mind.
no.
Dang it.
It would have
I
been
have
like a day
speak-
or two ago. Yeah.
I have speak with plants, but it only is if it's within the last day. And
Speak
so
with. Oh, I was like, speak with plants. Oh, right. Ask the tree who maybe saw it.
yeah, ask the tree. Hey, what happened? But one, I don't have it prepared. And so if I did, and so if it was within the last 24
Can you
hours,
imagine if we unfoiled Caleb's plan by asking a tree?
No, here's the thing.
Boiled by a
it's been-
freaking ficus.
If it's been
That's-
more than a day, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because it says you can question plants about events in the spell's area within the past day.
Mhm.
So if it's been more than a day, it doesn't matter. If it had been less than a day, I was literally going to see if I could surge just to prepare it because I don't have
yeah,
it
yeah.
prepared. But if it's been more than a day, never mind.
Yep.
Not going to risk it.
Yeah,
Or
so
if it's
Abner is
like-
just like muttering, like, there's an assassin in far shore, then everyone is at risk, especially me. And then he like starts like
Abner.
walking away.
Abner, no one's gonna. Well, actually work. And then she like kind of shuts her mouth. She, actually, he is kind of annoying. Maybe he's at risk.
Exactly. Many people want to kill me. I'm just that important.
I think most Jelly's like Jelly's thinking to herself,
Most of them in this room.
Like, you better find out what's going on here. I will not keep my lips sealed forever.
Fine, go.
I was here to talk to Lavinia. I had legitimate
Said
business.
Go.
We just like the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's like,
Just kidding.
and
I'm
if
just
you
kidding.
want to,
I'm just kidding. I don't actually
Okay.
do that. She's just,
Yeah.
I'm
"That'd
just
be
joking.
funny."
yeah. So at that point, I think Lavinia looks up to you guys and says, "I think we've maybe done all we can for now. I'll talk with Avner, and the rest of you get some rest, and we'll try to open this investigation tomorrow." Yeah, I mean, you guys can start whatever you want to do beforehand if you'd like.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
could Audrey
I'm-
make an investigation check of some
Yeah.
kind, like
Mhm.
just a preliminary?
What would your intent be exactly? Like, what do you actually want to pick up particularly? Like, what kind of clues are you searching out here, or like
Any like, can he look at the body if there's any like needle marks or anything?
right? So like literally like look at the body, look at like the murder site or the suicide site or whatever, right? Like that's fine. Yeah, do some.
Can I give him a bardic for this, or is that not possible?
It's going to be longer than 10 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, looking at a body, I don't think would be 10 minutes.
Right, but it's the matter of looking at the body, looking at the site the body was found originally, and then collating all the relevant data. Like, it's not just looking at the body and that's it.
I would go with him to the location of where it happened because I want to see if I have any spells that would help. Because I do have like things like with communing with nature and stuff like that. To see if anything like that would do anything.
And I'll be looking for stuff like, where did the body allegedly, like, where was it allegedly found?
Are there discrepancies between what a suicide would look like and what a murder would look like?
Yeah, and like, is this like, if he did fall right, like, if he fell right here?
How far away was he from the actual cliff? Did they get pushed at a high velocity?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, did he fall here or did he fall maybe over there?
Did he fall somewhere else and the body was brought here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Sounds good. Make that investigation check. And we can assume everybody's helping you, so you can get advantage. So 23. I don't think... Well, you know what? Luna should probably make a roll here. I really need to make a character sheet for her. I haven't done that yet. I probably should have done it before the session because you're probably going to attack her.
Probably.
Us? Attack her?
I can probably find a stat block to use in the case of emergency, but... I'll go ahead.
Use like a bullywug stat block for her, please.
Oh no! Just for that, I'm going to use a Tarask. Okay, so
that's so mean.
Here we go. This is her like hide the signs of a murder roll. Ooh, she got a 23 too.
Why does she get a plus?
So Jordan
12?
beats it, right?
She's like a rogue. This is like deception.
Jordan met it, so he beats it, right?
It's Ty goes to the defender, right? Which
no, because if like, I roll a 20 in stealth and somebody rolls a 20 in perception, they see me.
Yeah, it sets the DC. Okay, yeah, just barely, right? Like it's probably like some minor thing that you miss the first go, and then you circle back around and find it.
What is the area? What does the site look like? Is it literally just the
let me just go to the Far Shore map because it would probably be like the cliffs next to Far Shore, right?
Asha's just gonna be like, I'm getting psychic visions of what happened here.
Yeah, she probably like lured him out to the cliffs and then like
either that or like he fell off a building or something when they were tussling, and then she transplanted the body there. It's probably more likely that she.
And of course, it was right next to the pineapple tree.
Yeah. I think it was probably that she knew he was tailing her, right? Went up to the cliffs in quote unquote to do something nefarious, and it was actually just an ambush for him, right? And then she managed to push him off the cliff. I'm thinking it's probably somewhere like around here, right? So there's like a watchtower right here.
Could we have had like a third party with us watching us investigate? Because I don't want it to seem like
who would you want to grab?
The rest of the Jade Ravens. I mean,
no, I don't know. Like,
Lavinia.
I mean, Lavinia's like has stuff to do. I don't know if she's
she's got stuff to do.
Look at the NPCs.
I'm just trying to think. Could we have had the guy who's in charge of the church there, or like just somebody kind of like
someone to corroborate this story?
Yeah, who we're not really like friends with.
Avner.
He's too dumb and annoying.
I mean, you're not wrong in there. I would just say he wouldn't. Oh, he would maybe lie to get it again. Yeah,
that's my thing. Is I'm like the guy who's in charge of the church. I feel like would be honest, but also is not like friends with us. Mm-hmm. So people could accuse us of like everybody just all
you're just ganging up on Luna. Yeah. Let me find again.
I don't know
who this guy is.
I'm just trying to figure out how to make it
that's
the
a
cleanest investigation possible.
So the
guy. Also, I want to make sure I'm with people the entire time. Like I have not been alone since the information came out.
Noted. So this guy is Vincent Catherley. Is his name as a reminder. He's a half elf. So he's like traipsing along with you here. I don't think it would take too much convincing on your part. I don't even think you need to make a persuasion check or anything. Like if you waste his time here and like didn't come up with anything, that'd be one thing, and then he would be like, I'm not helping you anymore. But I think just like, hey, we think this is maybe a murder. We're looking into it. Lavinia is okay with it. Like, could you come with us to corroborate our story? We don't want to make it seem like we're trying to pin someone, like frame someone for the murder. I think he'd be fine with coming. And now that I'm thinking about it, if there is a watchtower here, it probably makes more sense if it's like somewhere off on this side, because she wouldn't want to be near a watchtower where someone might see her. So it's somewhere up on these cliffs overlooking far shore, the northern cliffs here. And I'm trying to think of the thing that you find that's a discrepancy. I think the story is pretty clear that what I just said, right? She ambushed him atop these cliffs and managed to push him off to his death.
It's just like a garment of hers or something. It's like right by where he fell off or something like that.
I feel like that's too easy. She would have been cleaner about it, right? This would have to be something that she did with she missed. I don't think she would miss something as easy as that, right? Like she would have gone bent down to the body before anyone found it, made sure that it was clean of anything like that.
No,
so
it's
probably
like as they were fighting. As we were fighting, he like ripped off something of hers. She didn't notice
right,
it.
but then all she has to do is go. She would go down and check the body no matter what. So she would have found something like that. It would have to be something a little.
Like...
No, I was gonna say she tore it off, and it would like fell off out the top of the cliff. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, but she would have gone down to the body.
No. What he's saying is, it tore off, but he didn't have it in his hand when he fell. It fell
like
somewhere
it went on
a branch or something.
Right. I think that's a vague enough hint that that's something that would come up with this.
I was thinking something maybe like, I guess that works too, but like something like in his like skin under like his fingernails, showing that like he like scratched somebody wounds. Or something. Defensive wounds. I don't know. Something small like that.
Yeah,
but I guess that would have less scratch marks though.
Yeah, exactly. Because he got like and there's magical healing in this world, so if she got scratched, she could have just taken a healing potion, right?
Yeah.
I think because he got a 23 on the DC of a 23, I think it should be something that's like incriminating but not obvious. So I like the idea of like scrap of cloth that was found blown by the wind near the site, but isn't like an obvious like you were here thing. Like it's suspicious, but it isn't like, oh, it was on the body. But I think there's also one other thing that you find, Audrin, besides that. And you probably don't know who this piece of cloth belongs to when you find it, but with some double checking, you'll be able to confirm that it was hers, right? I think the other thing that you find is when you like investigate the body itself, which is in the chapel. That's probably where you go first, right? Because you wanted to talk to Vincent anyway, right? And so he lets you look at the body, and you find it's an interesting little thing. So it's sort of like the weird birthmark thing that's been showing up on you guys, but like a weird kind of nega inverse of that. I'm trying to think of what that would mean. So,
oh, okay, like
a
he's
circle
murdered.
of it outlined.
It's not like a birthmark, I don't think, but it's some sort of mark that like an arcane mark that was put on him because of how she killed him. That would remind you of these marks that you guys have been getting. I'm not entirely sure what that
would be interesting, Caleb, because we've confirmed that Audrin tried to kill himself, correct?
Yeah.
If Audrin's was somehow special, but it wasn't like that on his, and that's one, I don't know.
I don't think it is. Knowing what I know about how he got this, there isn't actually a
okay.
I mean, not that there would be a connection based on what you just said, but like I'm less interested in that being the thing that tips him off to this. It should just remind, like, it wouldn't, again, these are like clues that you're getting. This isn't like you figuring out who done it per se, but I think the investigation here gives you these two pieces of evidence. One, the cloth that you would have to then confirm, is this hers? And then this weird mark, and it's like probably like a weird black kind of corrupted looking stain on his neck, maybe, or something. That maybe to someone else just looks like I don't know, like a birthmark or tar or pitch that got put on his neck or something like that. But you recognize that it has some sort of arcane property, but you can't quite put your finger down on it. You can make an Arcana check though to like decipher it if you'd like.
I forget. Did we figure out what the birthmarks meant, other than that it meant that they're set aside for something?
Yeah, you're basically like just a special group of people who are either going to do great bad things or great good things.
I mean, not me. I haven't died yet.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just going to be normal then.
Do I get Arcana with advantage, and also do I get the guidance and Bardic?
Could that be a Bardic thing with this? Because this is a very specific thing.
Yeah, I think guidance and Bardic are just fine. Yeah, because this is more like, does Audrin know what this is?
And you'd have advantage too, because I can help.
Yep.
Yeah, if people are giving that. Oh, or not.
Break 35. Whoa. Break 35.
Well, he could potentially break 40.
Are we
guys doing guidance and Bardic?
Yeah. One guidance, one Bardic.
D6.
Are we at our very first break 40?
Yes.
This is the first opportunity for it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it won't break now.
No.
Yeah,
D4. D4. If you get a 3 or a 4.
Oh,
so
only a 38. How disappointing.
Is that the highest roll we've gotten in the campaign on a D20?
I think it is.
I think so.
Any campaign you've done?
It might be.
I mean, it had to have been, because we never said break 40 before.
Wow.
And if we had.
Yeah.
Break 40. That's ridiculous.
This is honestly just an embarrassing turnout for Audrin. He could have broke 40 and he didn't.
So the thing with this, Audrin, this is once again like the sort of thing that only you could figure out because of your connection to the Crimson Fleet, right? You keep remembering these little things that you like saw as a young man, like aboard these ships. Someone got killed. Someone was murdered at some point, and I'm sure it happened multiple times, but there's one particular instance of murder that you witnessed aboard or near a pirate ship, right? Like while you're in the Crimson Fleet. And the person who did it was like a captain of the Crimson Fleet, and they had like a strange black blade of some sort. And you noticed the mark on them, like on the body after this person killed them, and you thought, oh, it's just like maybe the sword itself like cuts a gash in the person, and it did this. You're not entirely sure. When it happened, you didn't know what was going on, but I think this is Audrin with the benefit of hindsight and looking at what this is, and with all the data he's gathered about all this stuff over the years. You know that what likely happened is, she got pushed off, or he got pushed off, and then she went down here, stabbed him with the black blade, and that's the thing that's keeping him from being able to resurrect. So, it's not him not wanting to come back. It might be like it technically, if this thing didn't exist, it's possible he would still refuse to come back. That's still a thing that's up in the air. But at the very least, this is preventing him from being resurrected. With a 38, it's probably good. Like you probably have at least an idea of how to get rid of it. I didn't expect you to get such a high roll, so I don't actually know off the top of my head what that might be.
Could it be something to do with my tinkering?
Maybe. So I mean, basically, this is like for canon's sake, right? This is the Crimson Fleet having because this weird resurrection thing is happening to a bunch of people, like they're getting these weird marks and stuff. This is like the Crimson Fleet, and more specifically, Demogorgon and the demon hordes that like the machinations that are happening behind the scenes to like do all the weird Shadow Pearl stuff and all that jazz, right? This is part of that plan because they know that like there are important people out there who could stop them, and these swords are specifically made to prevent them from being able to come back. I think that whatever thing it would be to like stop it, it would have to be major level.
What about
go on a quest to figure out a way to do it, sort of thing.
So not
right?
greater restoration.
No, normal. Maybe like a wish spell, but like,
my gosh.
Certainly nothing lower than that. Like these are supposed to be very high level things that are like there for particular reasons.
I just
given
asked
to
'cause
particular officers.
Dang,
to
I
do
hope
important
that
things.
thing only has like one charge per week or something like that, or once per month. It's
Mhm.
insane.
Or once per sword.
Yeah.
I was asking because Greater Resto removes curse.
Yeah, I think you have access to that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I
The
have
thing is,
Diamond Dust.
she wouldn't risk this unless she knew for sure that like no one could break it, right?
Fair enough.
So, that's what you know.
I have a way to figure out what can remove it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think like with a 38 Audrin, you know that there must be some way, but like it's gonna you know the thing you know would be at least a wish spell, but something that's equivalent to a wish spell would also work. There could be some sort of quest you guys go on to figure out what this thing is, but whatever it is, it has to be major, like very, very major.
Audrin puts all this together and he just hangs his head and goes, I think I need to go look for a fish dude.
Oh yeah, genie guy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I was gonna say because here's the thing: I can cast divination in the morning and just ask Madoc potentially how we can get rid of it.
Yeah,
they can just do it for free. I was planning on using divination tomorrow, no matter what, and I was planning on using it to figure out how he died, but why he wasn't come back. But now we know.
Yeah.
So Audrin explains.
Mm-hmm.
He exalpanes what happened with him.
So,
or that there's these blades that exist that can do this.
Yeah.
So I see.
And it doesn't have to be like a sword either. It's it could be a dagger or something too.
Yeah.
So then that means we have.
You said blade, so that was correct. I just wanted to make sure that like this could be something she can hide on her person. It wouldn't be like a giant sword or something, right?
So that's what Takewee's going to bring up. She's going to say, so that basically means we have two suspects. Luna and Lefty. And unfortunately, I think the people are going to try to frame Lefty on this.
Wait, who's Lefty?
Yeah,
who's
that's
Lefty
the thing.
again?
If Audrin, no, I get what you're saying. If Audrin says this is something the Crimson Fleet has, I know specifically. The only person who the town knows is connected to Crimson Fleet is Lefty, is the pirate you captured. Yeah, so they would definitely want to make him the scapegoat instead of this beautiful young woman who's done nothing but help and shine a light in our town, right? Exactly.
Forgot about him.
Yeah.
And we already fully interrogated him about Luna, didn't we?
Yeah, he said that he didn't know anything.
Exactly.
About
He
her.
was like, we have no idea. We captured her on board a merchant vessel.
Wouldn't we have searched him to make sure he didn't have anything on him?
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't he been like under house? Hasn't he been like under?
Yeah, he's like, trying to redeem himself. I think he's under trial right now or something.
It's very unlikely, but I'm just saying it's technically a possibility. I mean, people are going to say Luna is
someone
not
like
a
the
possibility.
Miravanchis would rather blame Lefty for this.
Right.
So.
It's just an easier target.
Why we should have killed Avner.
Is there any chance of Audrin getting an audience with Lefty to see if he knows anything about these blades?
Yeah, that would be easy enough. I mean, he's under Lavinia's imprisonment right now.
Would Audrin know what kind of magic it is?
So he's actually technically like in prison, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's not like wandering around.
No, he's in jail.
Oh, then he couldn't have done this.
Yeah, unless he's some powerful Crimson Fleet agent,
Right.
which is probably what the Miravanchi is going to say, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Do we know what kind of magic this?
It would probably have to be like necromantic, right?
Okay. I think Deli's going to do some looking around with detect magic up and try and find if she can detect any necromantic. How big is the camp that it would take me to essentially go around the entire thing? And she wouldn't have necessarily hit it in the camp.
Yeah. And she's been very smart about this, so she probably has tried to dot her I's and cross her T's and be careful about it. So,
but if
I'm sure there exists, like if you put something like that in a bag of holding, does the bag of holding doesn't emit necromantic magic, right?
It does not, but you would be able to see the bag of holding at the very least.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the kind of thing of like.
But then it's like, do you have a warrant? Like,
yeah.
And if anything,
you can't just turn people's bags of holding inside out.
You can't just look into a woman's purse, okay?
Yeah,
even if it is magical.
Well, I was thinking, if anything, I could go around Lefty, see if I detect any magic on him. If there's nothing, then it probably wasn't him.
I know, but people are just going to say, "Oh, it's some way he hid the weapon," like.
Yeah, the big thing that I think the thing you're going to be able to do, you have to confirm that the piece of cloth that
The
you found
fabric.
is
Is
hers.
Luna's.
Yeah.
And even then, it's not going to be 100%, but like that, at least that's going to point more towards her than him.
Well, and especially if we can do speak with dead and have witnesses that show that he did not indeed kill himself.
Well,
That's-
I'm wondering if the mark is going to prevent that.
it could, but should try.
Yeah, because when it was just that he was unwilling, it's like speak with dead doesn't require them to be willing. But if this is specifically keeping him away, that might be.
Yeah, actually, that's something that let's talk about that. Actually, I've been going back and forth as to whether or not it would get rid of speak with dead as a possibility.
I need to,
I'm trying to
actually
decide
see
if
the
it would
description
be-
for speak with
Yeah,
dead.
I'm
You
trying to
grant
see.
the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth, and can't be undead. The spell fails if the corpse was the target of this spell within the last 10 days. Until the spell ends, you can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers
like-
are usually brief and cryptic or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy. The spell doesn't return the creature's soul to its body, only animating its spirit. Thus, the corpse can't learn new information, doesn't comprehend anything that happened since it died, and can't speculate about future events.
I'd
'Cause
also think it'd be possible, maybe because it's a necromancy spell.
Oh, that's true. It is a necromancy spell.
So the thing that I'm wondering is, just for narrative's sake, right? I'm trying to think of, is it more or less suspicious? Like, which way is less suspicious for her? Like, is it more suspicious if if suddenly the corpse can't speak with dead, and wait, that's not a thing that happens normally when people just don't want to come back from resurrection, or is it like, if it is him answering the questions going to be more incriminating no matter what, right? I'm just trying to think, because I want to make sure that Luna, as a villain who is way smarter than I am, is
Yeah.
also
Well, she
smarter
probably
here.
See,
it's
'cause
just
the-
whatever the sword would like, whatever the blade would be, because I would guess you can't control how much.
Right. I guess I'm talking about just like right now in the narrative,
Yeah.
what is more suspicious, and then that's what I'll canonize as what the swords can do.
I mean, it would make
'Cause-
sense if you have something. Well, it would kind of make sense if you have something that locks away the soul from coming back. It also couldn't speak necessarily, but at the same time, because I feel like here's
it makes a point of saying the soul isn't coming back. It's just like
I
some
feel like,
energy that's animating it.
well, because I feel like, though, if you're evil pirates, you're like, dead men tell no tales.
That's true.
You know what?
That
Just
is-
for that line, we
Yeah.
have to make it not do speak with deads. You're
Which-
totally right.
But here's the
thing.
totally right.
It makes
No.
it.
But I feel like it makes sense because this is a necromancy
Yeah.
spell, right? That's the only reason why I feel like this makes sense as well, is because like it's not like a, I don't, because this
But also-
resurrection isn't a necromancy.
But I'm
spell,
also
so-
just
No.
kind of like, if the thing to get rid of it is like a 9th level spell, like, would you not think that it would be prevented
Yeah, you're
doing
right. Yeah.
everything?
I agree.
Yeah, and it's still.
But
it's
this is
still
just
being-
asking questions. This isn't bringing them back to life.
But I mean,
Yeah, but like, pirates wouldn't want people to be able to answer questions about them.
I think it's way more narratively interesting to do it that way. Just
The
at
thing
the very
is-
least, just for the flavor, right?
the thing is too, it means we know something happened to him.
Yeah.
yes.
We
That's the
still
thing.
get something really
Either
big
way, it was
just
going
from
to give
that.
you information. I was
I
just
guess
curious as to.
I
whether
guess
it
that's
makes
true,
sense.
right? If we speak with dead, this confirms that indeed he did not necessarily kill himself because
I mean, he could have, but there's also there at the very least there's something else also going on with the body, right?
And-
Like maybe he was under, like a conclusion someone could come to is he was under some sort of curse before he tried to kill himself, and that's why he tried to kill himself. That could be one possible answer. At the very least, there's something magical happening with the body that's like making it weirder.
What I'm planning on doing is, here's what I would say too is Deli will probably try and cast divination before we do the ritual, because that way we have more information before we go into it. Because essentially I'm planning on casting divination in the morning to ask Madoc if he knows how to get rid of the mark.
So that's what you're gonna do in the morning.
I'll just put it in the chat. That's the spell I'm planning on casting in the morning. I would have to get some incense, and I have an idea of how I'm doing this actually.
I think Madoc says he does not know.
Oh, well, I thought we were gonna play that more.
I don't know if it I don't think it matters that much. Like
Mhm.
I think he basically just tells you, like, there are some things that even I don't know. There are new things that are happening all the time. We're a very new pantheon. This is at the very least he can tell you this is new, right? This is not something I'm familiar with, which means that it's some sort of new ritual that's been developed by the Crimson Fleet or the demon overlords, and it's probably very dangerous. So.
Okay, well, at least we got the information of this is dangerous. And just for flavor reasons, literally, the way I'm playing this off is like Deli gets her incense, she lights it, and she's carved an orange into a thing of wood, and to communicate with him, she bites into it.
Okay.
Like
right, because you can just eat
orange.
anything. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's her way. She's like, this is the best way that makes the most sense.
Question,
Sure, yeah,
Deli,
that's fine.
do you have speak with animals prepared?
That's one of the other things I was going to prepare.
He could.
The other thing is, I don't know how many animals would be around.
Any squirrels happen to see what happened?
Let me
Be like a
change
monkey,
how I
but
was
yeah.
going to prepare. So I was going to do that for divination, speak with dead, replace.
I mean, yeah, we could spend some time with Deli trying to interrogate animals.
Yeah, I can do it as a ritual. I can do it as often as I want. I probably would actually also do. I mean, I don't know that it has how long. I could always try speak with plants. No, speak with plants is not a ritual. That is an actual spell. That can go wrong. Don't do that.
So we're saying it's the next day now.
Yeah, I think we can officially move to the next day. We can even just say that, like, you guys did speak with dead. And I think what happens is, like, because it says, like, they must have a mouth or whatever, what probably happens is as soon as you cast the spell, his mouth suddenly has, like, an X across it, right? And it's just like, oh, it didn't work, and there's goes his mouth, right?
Like,
That's not supposed to happen.
Exactly, yeah. So at that point, right, then Lavinia's like, okay, yeah, something's going on here. You guys need to look into this. And at that point, I guess Lavinia asks you, when should we reveal that this has happened? Do you want to do more investigating first, or are you gonna have to, like, go talk to other people besides?
I think we should find the source of the cloth before we announce anything.
Yeah, she nods. It's like, if someone is involved in this, then we don't want them running.
quick question, Caleb. If we had done this a week earlier, instead of an X, would there have been a blue bird showing over?
That
was a really dumb joke. Sorry.
That was pretty good, Seth. No, I like
was really
that.
dumb.
That was good.
Okay, I don't get it.
Twitter changed to X.
Twitter changed their name to X. Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah, one of the more esoteric, one of the more strange decisions.
Look, I think this is just proof that who's the guy that's in charge of it now? Who owns it?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
I think this is just proof that Musk's gonna give it to you.
Apparently, everything with Elon must be everything has to have an X in it. SpaceX, whatever other X company he has, I can't remember.
His child has an X in his name.
That's true. It's like, hey, I like the letter X too, but that's maybe taking it a little bit too far. Cool.
I like the letter X so much I divorced. That's probably.
I think he did is the thing.
He did, yeah. Cool. So, what is the plan then moving forward here? Besides, like, trying to confirm the cloth, is there anything else you guys want to try to do?
Now he's gonna go around trying to talk to the squirrels. See if anything saw anything.
Let's do that first here. Let's just maybe make an
do your thing,
animal
girl.
handling roll.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not good at persuasion, so let's just do that. I think.
Don't have to remind me. 24.
24 is pretty good. So
I think we forget that 24 is very good. Okay, let's not forget that 24 is not like today's like 14. That that's 14 is like average.
It's no,
or like a little bit above average, actually.
It's the fact that there's 2 rogues in the party that really throws
making our 24s feel inadequate.
Yep. The thing I'm just trying to think through is, like, what, if anything, would have seen this? I think it would probably have to be like a bird or a bug, maybe, because it doesn't look like there's like trees up on top of this cliff, right? So it would be like either like a seagull or something, or like a grasshopper or whatever that was in the grass up there. I guess it was at night though.
Well, animals have
Cricket?
night vision.
Yes, they obviously they do, but not seagulls. So I'm trying to
Crickets,
think of
crickets
they
are out
would've-
at night.
right. I mean, can they see in the dark though?
Can crickets see in the dark?
Can't- exactly.
Cricket.
They do.
Yes.
They see very well in the dark.
Yeah. So I guess you talk to Jiminy Cricket, and he
And then-
tells you to go wish upon a star so you can get you can resurrect your friend.
To be fair, just
Let
to be
me
clear,
tell
also,
you guys, what you're going to have to do to bring your friend back. First, you have to learn what it means to be a true boy.
Sorry,
This-
Deli. You're
this is a-
neither a human or a boy.
Nor are
This
you
is
true.
this is a
Because
ritual,
you're
so it
pink.
doesn't trigger wild magic.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I think it's probably like a cricket of some sort. I don't think that any animal would be able to like, at the very least, they would be able to tell you there was someone else up here. Like the time that you're referencing. Well, okay. Here's another question. What is the memory of a cricket? Long-term memory. Cricket.
I swear, there's some stupid article that's like, crickets are the elephants of the bug kingdom. I'm going to, like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's not going to be pleasant.
Crickets be trained
Very
is maybe a better
interesting.
question.
Yeah, the issue is like insects are very simple creatures. And yeah, so I think what it tells you is it's very unlikely that there are many people up on top of this cliff at any point in the last like week. So I think it does like remember a thing, like an event that happened up here, and it's like, oh, that was different from any other day that I've been alive, right? And it seemed like there were multiple people. Like it's an insect, so it's hard to get the exact answers you want from it, but it's at least good enough to like have a good idea that there was likely more than one person up around the time this is happening. So whether that doesn't necessarily, the cricket can't tell you one pushed the other off, but I think it can tell you when I was just chirping my heart away here on a blade of grass, there was a person who walked by me, and then there was another person who walked by me. That was weird, right? And that's about all you get.
So there were 2 people up here.
Why, yes, there were.
Okay, thank you.
And she gives him like a pile of grass.
That is more than I will ever eat in my entire lifetime. But
He's
thank
like-
you, kind lizard.
He's like, I'm rich. I struck gold.
And then all of his other cricket buddies come and murder him for it.
We hear you got our pay, cousin.
You got your big break. Well, now that's going to be our big break, too.
Why are they
Anyway,
hillbillies? Why are we?
I don't know.
Because it's a really big hill.
But yeah, so you can get some info. You know that the things right, are there was some sort of weird curse thing that happened to make him not being able to resurrect or be able to speak with dead to the corpse. There was a piece of cloth found at the scene of the crime that you'll have to confirm who it belongs to, or at least near the scene of the crime. And the animals have confirmed that there were 2 people up on the cliff at the night of the supposed suicide.
Oh, wait, never mind. I was going to say I have locate object, but I have to describe an object familiar to me. And I'm not familiar with it. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. I just remember something. I found a spell. I hadn't technically cast it yet, but I forgot I had it. Oh, it's a creature. Never mind. I have scrying, but I can't scry on an object.
Right.
Oh, right, and I still need the crystal ball.
If you got a crystal ball, you could just scry on Luna all the time.
Well,
It
when
doesn't
you're-
always work, but I could.
You try at least. Yeah.
And she'd probably be really good at not having you do it. She's annoyingly good at everything.
It is a wisdom saving throw.
She's not good
Yeah.
at everything, but yeah. She's good at
Sorry,
the things
she's probably
been
really
attempting
bad
to
at
do.
animal handling.
Yes, she's bad at animal handling. She's probably bad at like history and religion. But spice things, she's good at those.
I have commune with nature. Unfortunately, it's just like what's around here. It doesn't actually let me like talk to things.
Yeah, so do we want to confirm who owns the cloth? Is the next step here?
Yeah, how are we going to
Guess
do that
so.
though? Because we really only want to
question.
check one person.
Yeah. This could just be Anna sneaking into her bedroom, right? When you know
That's the
she's
thing
gone,
is-
right?
Here's the thing. I don't want to be doing anything alone because I don't want it to look like
We could have Audrey do it then.
doing anything.
Yes, an Audrin going in, sneaking and grabbing women's garments. That doesn't look weird.
As long
at
as no
all.
one catches him, it's fine.
No, it's not fine, Caleb.
Well, it's not fine, but you know what I mean.
Remember, kids, it's fine to steal things if you don't get caught.
Well, I mean, we can also just, while she's at dinner or something, like
Mhm.
have somebody go have Audrin look because he's good at investigation. Like it doesn't even have to be as much as stealth.
While they're at dinner,
thing.
Audrin could sit next to her and sleight of hand and compare the dress. Or yeah.
Well, it's very unlikely she's wearing the same dress that she
Yeah.
got something ripped off of, right? It's probably hidden. That's the issue, right?
Yeah.
She probably
And that's-
noticed after the fact that it had something ripped off of it and then immediately hid it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Is like I wouldn't be able to, even if I got into the room and she was in there sleeping and I like snuck in, I
You're not gonna be able to
highly
find
doubt that I would
anything.
be able to find it.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, the thing is, I think Audrin's gonna have to make a stealth check here, no matter what, because I think like there are still people in the manor who can notice Audrin doing this and like tell someone they're not supposed to, right?
And
Unless you
can
want to.
Lavinia go with him? Maybe would that make it more official, or would that be worse?
Yes, I guess. The issue I'm seeing is like you would have to let the servants know somehow not to go be in this area when this is happening, and then here let me just do this. Let's have Lavinia make a roll real quick. She's
Where
gonna
is
try
she
to
even
just
staying?
Yeah,
in
where's she staying?
Lavinia's manor.
Oh,
Remember? Yeah, there's a
Then-
guest room there.
Lavinia. Like,
Yeah, can Lavinia
Yes,
not
I
just have them go do something else?
Yes, and that's what I want. The only thing I'm wondering here is Luna has been doing a lot of machinations. It's possible that she has gotten one of these servants on her side, right? I want to make sure that Lavinia can do this in a way that's not going to tip one of those off, that something is up. So I'm going to have her make a roll to attempt to... I'll make a deception roll for her. Wow, she is a level 1 rogue. Let's give her some levels, shall we?
Why is everyone a rogue?
Well, this is because Audrin was teaching her, remember?
Yeah, but everyone is a rogue. Audrin's a rogue. Anna's a rogue. She's a rogue. Luna's a rogue. This is just rogues are us here.
Well, rogues are awesome.
Sorry, you're not
Rogues
cool enough
are-
to be a rogue.
Look,
You're just jealous, Deli.
all right, look here, Piccolo.
You didn't
You're
know,
just-
but Takeui's going to take another level in Rogue next level, okay? Just to spite you.
look here, Piccolo. You don't have to get jealous of the Super Saiyans over here. Just because it's a Super Saiyan bargain sale.
I already get expertise with Bard, so I really don't need anything else. I'm good.
I was contemplating. This is the thing is a druid. The coolest thing happens at level 20. And so you gotta stick with it if you want to be Archdruid. Even then, I can turn into
Oh.
level 1 creatures.
Oh, a rage powered multi-attack sneak attack from a barbarian rogue. Oh, that's
That'd be
scary
cool.
damage.
I contemplated multi-classing into either monk for the unarmed strikes with wild shape, or barbarian to rage in wild shape, but neither of them. I need to stay.
Is that deception for Lavinia?
Yes,
then?
that is
Yeah.
Lavinia's deception. I think she blows it out of the water probably. I will find like a random commoner life path, and maybe stat block here. And if they get like a critical, then, maybe, but unlikely that.
Watch. It's gonna be a critical.
Don't.
Yeah.
Not one. A critical failure.
I just know it. I just know it because Luna is just too good. Like it's just
Yeah,
you
but this
know?
is a commoner.
So, but I mean, but if she's on Luna's side, right?
So it'd be insight, basically. Ooh, literally
she was
one
close.
away.
She was close.
Yeah.
Did I not say it?
You gotta
Very, very
believe.
close. Yeah. So this is, I think this is true, right? There is someone on her side in Lavinia's staff, but they don't catch on to what Lavinia is doing here to help you guys be able to go in. So Audrin, go ahead and you don't have to make a stealth check now, but you can make an investigation check of the room to try to find evidence here.
Would this already also be able to be bardicated?
Yeah.
quickly?
Yeah, Bardic is fine. Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
not guidance,
so-
but Bardic.
Hold on,
Take
I
it.
just need to know one thing.
I like shove you in. I'm like, go.
Here's the
good luck.
thing. Okay. Guidance won't work because
Yeah.
why?
Because it's
It
going to
has
be
to be
more than a
immediate.
minute of looking.
It's going to be more than a minute, and Deli would have to be there with you. And I think there's an element of stealth that still
Deli
needs
is
to happen
not
here,
the
even if
only
you don't have to
person
roll
with
with it.
guidance.
Can you guidance yourself?
I can guidance myself.
Then yes, that's fine.
But it's
'Cause you
Oh,
can just do it
okay.
every round, right? That's
oh,
fine.
fair enough. Yeah, it's a cantrip, right?
You're like,
Yeah.
please let me find it. Please let me find it. Please let me.
Exactly.
It's funny
Yeah, that's
because it's touch one willing creature.
Yep. That's
So
fine.
I'm just imagining Audrin's just like on occasion he's just like, come on, Audrin,
Yeah.
you can do it.
He's just-
Find
he's like-
it.
he's like,
Find
think,
the
think,
thing.
Yeah. Think. Yeah.
think.
There you go.
Think. Yeah, I like that
All right.
better.
So no advantage here, but you can roll and then add those bonuses if you need them.
I have a story.
Oh, I got a critical fail for her. Your DC is 13.
I
You
still,
literally
wait.
just have to not get a critical failure, basically, right?
Yeah.
Still tell a story. Still
I
tell
wanted-
a story.
I kind of wanted to tell the story just because it's a funny story either way.
Go for it.
Oh, do it.
So there was a time when Audrin was in the Crimson Fleet, and he was very young. Like Audrin was not the only young kidnappee of the Crimson Fleet.
Yeah.
And there were there was this group of young rowdy boys. They called them the Powder Keg Boys. And they like to, cause trouble, stir things up a little bit. And so there was a time when Audrin was dared to go into a female captain's quarters to dig around for things.
Yep.
And
yep.
Audrin wouldn't have done it, but Audrin was dared to.
Mhm.
And little revealing thing about Audrin here. They dared him, and then they questioned his courage. And when Audrin's courage is questioned, cannot back down from a challenge
Very
to
fun.
a fault.
I love it. Take advantage. You probably won't
Okay.
need it, but
I won't, but can I take advantage and not use it right now, or to have inspiration?
you can take you can charge inspiration. Yeah, we
Yeah, I'll
almost
charge
never
inspiration.
never bring that rule up, but yeah,
I
technically
know,
you can.
right? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just have my little
Yep,
inspiration bubbled in, and then
You watch, you're gonna get
It's-
double crit fails.
oh my gosh,
So, but if he
Um,
gets a crit fail and still gets higher than her, he still wins, right?
No, because again, if it works that you have to meet the DC, adjust to meet the DC, and that's how it works there, then it also means that if you crit fail, no matter what the DC was, you just fail, right?
But she also crit failed, so that means she also failed to hide it.
what am I looking? Well,
I think the way, if we are ruling it that all that rolling does for someone else is set the DC, then I think that's how we have to make it work. Yeah.
maybe I should do advantage with it.
Yes, just do
Yeah,
it.
I'll
Can't
just use
risk
it.
it.
Just like
I'll use it. I'll take.
In
the
almost
advantage.
every other situation, we can give you advantage. This is one of the few times
Yeah.
that we cannot.
Yeah.
That's very
Well,
true.
and it's like because I'm rolling investigation here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, my investigation is less than her thing, so I still have to beat a 13.
Oh,
Didn't even need it.
Didn't need it, but I'm still 19 is a pretty low roll for me.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's actually my average roll.
You might as well use the bardic in the thing. Just
Oh, I forgot about those. I didn't need it.
well, no,
Okay.
you.
I mean, you
still
might
put
as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll roll 'em.
You might find something
Yeah,
six
extra.
and a
Maybe,
D4.
I don't know.
Hey,
ooh, break 30, break 30. No.
Oh.
It wasn't
That
even
would have been
possible.
impossible.
It would have been
I
impossible.
know.
But well, I still got pretty darn close though.
Yeah, you broke 25, which is a good like
Yeah, I
DC
got
threshold.
20
If there's going to be anything else in there.
I got 28. That's nice.
Yeah, so I think that roll means so I was gonna say like if you got lower, then she didn't keep she doesn't have the cloth here, but there's clues as to where she might have hidden it. This means that she didn't have time or opportunity to hide it elsewhere, and you just find it under a floorboard, right? So as careful as she is, she doesn't have the ability to be unnoticed all the time, and so she was waiting for the right moment to like go dump this in the ocean or the jungle somewhere, right? But she just did not have the opportunity yet, and so you managed to find it before she manages to do that. So yeah, you find like this torn dress. There's like probably blood on it too, right? Probably just her own blood. But it's underneath the floorboard somewhere that she managed to jimmy up. And you have acquired women's clothing. Congrats, Audrey.
Da 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 da. Okay.
So,
Well-
I mean, this is where it's going to have to escalate, right? Because
This
now
is
we
where a town
have.
meeting needs to be called, right?
I mean,
House
because if we
meeting.
show that to Lavinia, right? Like, here's a bloody dress under the floorboard that
I mean-
matches
Mhm.
this cloth.
Lavinia's with him. We established she
With
was
her, yeah.
there.
She's not like immediately with him in the room, I don't think, but she's like,
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Lavinia's not here with Audrey.
yeah,
No. All she did was make sure the servants aren't going to come into this area.
yeah.
All right. Well, Audrey reconvenes with Lavinia, and it relays the info.
Yeah, and she's basically
Um,
on your side at that point. She's like, "That's pretty damning evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is likely that's what happened."
So
Can we ring the alarm bell to call an emergency town meeting?
Yeah. The thing that I think Lavinia mentions as you lay all of this like data out to her, the one thing she does say is, "I think the thing we need to clinch this is whatever blade she had that did this to him." So if I think maybe even before a town meeting is called, maybe you can try to find where that is, because if you have that, it's an open shut case. Like there's no,
Would Audrey have found that with a 28 or no?
she doesn't have it in the room, so no.
Okay.
Could we have
It's
said
probably
while
on
this
her
is-
person, like
Yeah.
like
Could
in
we
like a
have said-
vest
or
or something.
it's either on her person or in a very special hiding place, like outside of the town or something, right?
Yeah.
Or it's in a bag of holding, but you didn't find one in the room, so.
Does anybody have locate object?
No, that's the thing. I do have locate.
Yeah.
I have locate object, but it says describe or name an object you are that is familiar to you.
Does familiar have to mean you have seen it before? I don't know if that's the case.
know.
I think with Audrin's 38, if he
'Cause
just
that's-
described in detail
Yeah.
to you what it looked like, I think you could probably make the.
Because I feel
Okay.
like I've like scried on something that I only heard it.
It's
clear
familiar with.
description
It's not
Yeah.
have seen.
Well-
D&D has other spells that say you must have seen this thing,
Okay,
right?
well, if
or
if,
have been there, yeah.
if
or been there,
Audrey
yeah.
would tell Deli to do this, we're good. Okay, it happens.
Yeah.
So I'll just put that in there.
I think the more interesting answer here
Okay.
is that it's on her person then, because if you can just go out into the jungle and find its hiding place with a locate object, that's one thing. I think it's on her.
So I guess the question is, what does Lavinia want to do? Does she want to just try to take her in quietly, or does she want to call a town meeting and expose this publicly? How does
Yes,
Lavinia
Audrey.
want to handle this? Because this is her town, ultimately.
Go ahead and add your comments there, Jordan, first.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be a bit of a rule stickler, there are two ways that you can use locate object. The spell can locate a specific object known to you, one, as long as you've seen it up close, within 30 feet at least once. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon.
I
feel
think
like
that one
necromantic
works.
blade.
Yeah. Because Audrin has the exact specifications on this thing, he's seen it before, he can describe it to Deli, and there are multiple of them. I think you can just say the nearest one of these special necromantic blades, and that will be the one that shows up.
And then the
I think you're
very
fine.
last thing is it has to be within 1,000 feet.
Yeah, so I mean, as long as Deli does it, if you are having this conversation with Lavinia and then Deli like walks in, or you guys are maybe all meeting with Lavinia right after Audrin does this, and Deli casts it right now, she's in the manor still, and
I mean-
this would go off, right?
I
Okay.
mean, 1,000 feet. This is the whole town is only 300. It's less than 1,000 feet. It's like if I stood in the center of the town, I like cover the entire town. According to this legend right here, the
Oh, I
legend
need
on the
to-
bottom says that much is 300 feet.
How do I make? Okay, so right now it's 18 feet across. How do I make that into 300 with the? What's the right ratio I need here?
It's 300 divided by 18, whatever.
Because right now the grid cell distance is measured at 5 feet.
Oh, so wait. 300 divided by what was it exactly? Measure it out again.
18.
16
right now
and
it's
6 repeating.
So
16.
16 times 5. It needs to be 83.3.
Perfect. Let's try that. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Math Wizard. Cool. So yeah, if you stand,
Sure solves a mean math problem.
Yeah, I
But
can,
also,
like,
like,
yeah.
I feel like if Deli just would cast it right then.
if you cast it right
because
now, you see that's on her. Yeah.
you
here's
can
the
also
thing.
walk
It says-
around for 10
It says
minutes.
within 1,000
Yeah.
feet. That's a radius.
Yep.
I detect everything friggin' nearby. I'm like, there's
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think like what is it? What number is this? The manor is number 9. So I'm just trying to think if she happened to be on the other side of the town,
I would
would
walk
still
to
get it,
center,
yeah.
I would walk to the center of the town before doing this.
I mean, I would have said cast it now to see if it's in her room, and Audrey just didn't find it.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
yeah, I think the easiest answer here is Deli casts it right away, and you notice it is on her right now. She is in the manor still, like, and you have all that information because otherwise, I mean, there's no reason not to just do it that way since we know.
So I imagine
The
how
spell
it
will work.
happens is like Deli casts a spell. Well, because Deli would want to do it away from people just because she knows her magic can go wild. So, but I think Deli would cast it and she'd be walking, kind of following her nose. Because I imagine how it is her eyes kind of have a little bit of a glow to her, and she sees like a scent trail of sorts.
Yeah.
And she follows it like in Avatar, of course. And then as she follows it, she goes like sniffing. She looks up, looks to Luna, looks to Audrin, goes like
Yeah, so I think Luna is probably like eating lunch or something with Nestor and a couple other people, right?
Oh
And
God.
then yeah, Audrin,
It's gonna escalate.
She turned to Audrin.
It's on Luna.
I mean, Takewe's like. I mean, at this point, like, is Lavinia with us?
Yeah, it's like Lavinia.
I think Lavinia has to be like,
Audrin just screams,
Luna, you are
Luna,
sentenced
give us the
to,
dagger.
like,
We know you killed him. No.
come with us quietly for questioning. So I don't know, right? Or
Yeah. Are you tell her to just confront her right now?
I don't. Well, what does Lavinia want to do? That's what
I
I would
think
have asked her in her office.
So
like,
yeah, see, I think her idea was, is there some way that Audrin can get it off of her? Like, he's really good at sleight of hand. Like, that might be the better play, because then you can, like, obviously it could fail and go horribly wrong, but if we're going to confront her anyway, it would be the best case scenario is get it off of her without her knowing, call the town meeting, and then say, like, hold it up. Then she doesn't have it too, and she can't use it on any of us, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then we can confront her and pile drive her or whatever we need to do to, like, get her in
Yeah.
prison, right?
I did not prep combat spells today because I wasn't expecting it to go this quickly.
Okay, but we have
Hey.
an entire town against her.
I know,
Yes.
but I have
well,
like
not yet.
just
But yes.
stabs everybody though.
specifically I had like charm person and stuff
I
like
bet
that.
there's
I don't have.
got to be some kind of limits to a dagger like this, right? Like, it can't just be like you stab someone and then they're just like,
It's probably
I
not
don't
an
know.
insta kill.
We don't
I assume it's not an
know.
insta
The
kill.
limits are whatever I decide plot wise.
There's
Also-
probably like a con save or something that you have
Yeah,
to
maybe,
do, and
yeah.
if you fail
Right.
it, then it's just like okay.
I'll after this session. Well, I really should have done this before already, but at the very
Maybe-
least, after this session, I'll make stats for this blade.
That's I'm like, should we take a break if you make stats?
I don't know if I want. At the very least, I could find a stat block for her. Is the plan to try to? Are you going to try to take it off of her, like Lavinia suggested?
Yeah, I probably will.
Okay,
Right.
let's make that roll now. If it goes horribly wrong, then okay,
It's gonna
I mean,
escalate.
either way, take a break.
Yeah.
But let's make that roll first.
so like,
Nobody-
is like the ploy like, oh, we're all like gonna come in here to like have dinner kind of a
Something
thing
like that,
too.
yeah.
Because I mean, we stay at her manor also.
Yep.
So
Guys, if we
Um,
get that blade, I can give it to the collectors and they would love me.
Yeah, sure.
So you said okay, so we get advantage if we can describe something in a
You
really clever way, correct?
So in combat, yes. Otherwise, it's like backstory stuff.
I probably
and then before we
point
go into a take, he's also going to whisper to Audrin, you got this, okay?
and I would probably
But no
tell
matter
you,
what, we have your back. And then give him a bardic inspiration.
and I would probably tell you exactly where it is on her.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I still want advantage.
No, it's just, I'm telling you exactly where it is to like maybe potentially give you advantage. So you're not like guessing where it is on her. So you know where it is.
Not like patting her down.
To add some tension to this, I think she would be very smart about it. It's like on the inside of her clothing in a very secure spot. So this is gonna have to be Audrin like bumping into her or something, right? Like
Give
making
me a
it
hug.
Yeah, exactly. Something that he could have to try. She can't just walk past her and pickpocket her. This would be
Audrin doesn't need to touch her because he has mage hand.
I suppose, but if she sees a dagger coming out of her clothing, that might give it away too, right?
So
here's what I'm hearing you say,
all I'm
Caleb.
saying is this
one of
gonna be
us
harder.
needs to make a deception check or a performance check to distract
work
her
too.
while Audrin gets the blade off.
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna
also
say
just kind of like, can I try and knock her to the ground and then Audrin helps her up?
Yeah. So I think there's two things that are going to happen here. We can just have Audrin make the roll, and it's going to be a very difficult roll, or you can make your own roll here and lower the DC with like a successful diversion. I think either way, I mean, Audrin, if you want to get advantage, you could describe something. I guess we could also, if you guys would rather just give him advantage by doing a successful like link test or whatever.
I don't know. What do you think?
Either one's fine with me.
I'm
fine with you trying to stack this in your favor, where Audrin gives us a backstory saying gets advantage, and you make a roll and can possibly lower the DC. If you
while they're thinking about it, I can just go ahead and tell story.
Yeah, go ahead.
So whenever the neighborhood watch would come together for, like they would come together for dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever. Like that's kind of on you, but everybody comes together for dinner. Because it's kind of family meal kind of thing, but there was, sorry, I thought I saw a wasp for a second. I freaked out. There's a training exercise that is part of your kind of initiation into everything, where you have to bring something, or it's a 2-person exercise. One person has to bring something into dinner and has to cooperate with the other person to sneak it from one end of the table to the other, past everybody else without anybody noticing. But Audrin's partner for this was what's the guy's name that we the trader of the neighborhood watch.
Yeah. Stem,
right. So Stem was Audrin's partner for this.
Okay.
So he had to work with this tension of like, I have to.
Otherwise known as the Shrouded Star.
Yeah.
What was your name in the neighborhood watch again, Audrin?
The Mad Hatter.
The Mad Hatter, yeah.
I'm sorry, the Glad Hatter.
The Glad Hatter, yeah.
Yeah. And I had a hat that had like, he has a top hat that had like this creepy smiley face on it.
Stitched into it, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. Go ahead and take advantage, my friend. Would you guys like to try a diversion?
Most of my diversions would mean casting a spell, which would be very obvious. I'm trying to create a diversion.
I don't know. I don't know if I have a +5 in deception or performance. I don't know if that's going to be good enough to like. I'm scared that I'd make it worse for him.
What if you and your understudy?
Lyrith.
Understudy is not the word you're looking for, but yeah.
I'm gonna say, if anything, I'm her understudy at this point. She's probably a much better bard than I am.
Protege.
Yeah,
that's the word I meant. Understudy is the first thing that came.
I like that. Here's my understudy.
If Takewee dies, Lyrith is just going to take her place and become the new Takewee. Just polymorph her and nothing will have, everything's the same.
I don't know, Em. Like, what do you think? Should we just let Audrin do his thing?
Well,
He's
because if
got
we
advantage
fail, I
and
feel
a
like
bardic.
we're gonna make it harder. Can
Yeah.
Lyrith also give him a bardic?
Yeah.
Lyrith there.
Can you stack
You can make her there.
Bardic?
That's fine. You
She
have
is
ti-
my
I mean, you
she is my protege after all.
yeah, you have the rest of the day to like plan an actual ambush. Like you don't have to do it right now, right?
Right. Well, I kind of figured we maybe were on a time crunch because I'm sure she'd look under her floorboards and then see
Yeah.
the dress isn't there.
Yes,
I-
but
yeah, I
at,
think-
at the very least, I think you have a few hours.
I mean, I think we just need to. I feel like anything we plan, like who knows what other shenanigans she's going to get up to. If we try and like do a thing, I think we just.
I
need to
think
do it
either way,
now.
we're still in the room when it happens. You know, like having
sure.
dinner or
Just in ca-
whatever.
yeah,
just in case something goes wrong. But, like, I think I don't know that we're necessarily like helping. We're just kind of there.
Would it be a distraction if I'm just like, Takwe, try and shoot me with a bow?
I don't.
Oops, you
I don't
accidentally
use
shot
arrows,
her.
but
I know, but just like, or have somebody try and shoot me with a bow, and I'll see if I can catch them.
In the
as,
middle
like
of
your
the
missile,
what, the
and yeah, like
mess
your
hall?
missile because you can catch missiles.
Yeah.
Would it
Um,
be a good distraction if I just surged? That could go
That's
poorly.
too-
I think
that's-
we just let
no,
Audrin do his thing
chaos.
and just hope for the best.
Yeah, I feel like we're just stalling.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
am
I
stalling
gave
then?
a great suggestion.
I don't think it would have to be an arrow. I think could be food.
Yeah, just
Here, open your mouth.
On this note, you probably
No.
cannot. You probably couldn't guidance yourself because as verbal components, she'd probably realize you're trying to do something.
That's fine.
All right. Is this
Doing
it? You doing it?
All right. Boop.
Oh,
Okay,
Fine,
hey, he
roll.
hasn't rolled. He hasn't rolled yet.
So, yep. No,
Roll the-
no.
roll the two Bardics.
He rolled. Yeah, he rolled a 20. So right now your DC is a 25. But you could beat it.
You got two bardics. You got two bardics.
Oh,
Oh,
my
no!
gosh, no! You
22.
need to get 3.
is Lyrith a D6 as well?
Oh, well, no. What level is she now?
Yeah. Let's check.
It could be higher, actually. Hold on, let me look. Bard.
I don't think it's
Bard,
that high.
Well, it could
What
be
level?
a D8 by now. What level is
I
she?
think that's
She's level
6, it's a
4.
D8.
I feel like she's got to be higher than that by now.
I
I
mean,
thought she would be. I thought they were only 4 levels behind us, or 3 levels behind us.
Yeah. What level were you guys when you started the ship voyage? That's the question.
Like 4, I thought.
Oh yeah. Wait. I know this because you're level 3 by the end of the first. In theory, level 3 by the end of the first adventure, level 5 by the end of the second adventure, level 7 by the end of the third adventure. So I think you started training them when you were like halfway, right? I don't think you were. Were you 5 when you started training them?
I think we were 4
I
or
don't-
5 when you started training. Maybe
Let's say 5 then. Okay, because 5 would have been the start
Okay,
of adventure
then
3.
she would.
Because right now, if you were level 5 right now, or yeah, she would be 4 levels behind you. So what are you right now?
We're
Level 10.
So it's a D8.
It is a D8 then, because they get a level 5 for a bard.
It's a good chance then. It's a better chance.
Wait, so how many levels am I adding to her right now? She's
she
level
should
4
be at
right
level
now.
6. Is that what
Yeah.
we're saying?
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna add those levels right now.
So I'm rolling a D8.
You're rolling a D8.
I'll roll a D8. Tell me why.
Nice.
Beat it by one.
Nice job.
Oh my gosh.
Very good.
Just
very
Okay.
good.
barely beating
So-
her.
I've had that Backstreet
Oh,
Boys
yeah.
roll a D8 parody, and like I that thought came into my head hours before the campaign started. And I'm like, I really hope that I get to use that tonight because that's kind of fun.
The first time you've just rolled a single D8 the whole campaign.
Very fun. Yeah, so it goes off without a hitch, right? Like
describe it. Describe it. What happens?
yeah. What's up, Audrin? I mean, you describe it, Audrin.
As I'm throwing food into Anna's mouth, trying to be distraction.
I
Because
think
as I described it, right, it's inside of her
Look,
clothing
Nestor, look how she is.
in a way that's like hard to reach. So you'd have to finagle something here.
Oh, I probably should have mentioned something. Audrey's pulling the Indiana Jones thing here. So
Oh.
I'm swapping out one of my daggers.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. That makes sense. How are you doing this? Please
Yeah.
describe to me how you managed to pull this off. I mean, you do it, but
Yeah, so
Trip and fall on her.
that's so
You have your mage
awkward.
hand with your dagger out to like swap them.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's like
you rolled a 5 initially on this, Audrey.
I know.
What? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he rolled a 5, and
I would like to point out
Rick.
that if I got a natural 20, it would be a 35,
Mhm.
which means that
Break 40 would be easy with that. Yeah.
it would. Actually,
It
with
would've.
lyrics, with Lyrith's bardic and the other
take me's.
Aque's
Yeah, you would've-
bardic
had 41.
and mending, not mending, guidance.
Guidance.
Sorry,
You
mending
can't
is
really
also-
guidance yourself on this.
No, but I'm saying like in general, like if
Oh, okay.
if you had guidance me in some other thing, then that's what? That's plus 18,
Possibly.
like a maximum of plus 18. So that's 35 plus 18.
Stupid.
35, 45, 50, 58. No, 53.
53.
53. I can roll a 53. Break 50 is a possibility.
Oh, God. That's
Okay.
gross.
So Audrin is like watching this whole ordeal with the throwing, and he like he's like he like rolls his head around a little bit, and he's like, I bet I could I bet I can still do this. And he grabs a piece of food and tosses it up in the air and misses it and like makes a whole show, and then he drops his fork. And so he's like, oh shoot, and then like goes down to pick up his fork, and then mage hand and his own hand, and just makes the switch happen, swaps the daggers out, accidentally bumps into her. Oh, my bad.
Still don't know how that happens when the dagger is inside of her clothing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's the thing that's right. That's the most challenging part of this is you can't just do a normal like switcheroo. It's like you have to like bump into her or something. She
Well,
has
that's what
to have
I did.
right, but
But
like
I-
I don't
That's what I was saying. Like, it almost makes sense that you fell on top of her,
right.
and so like your hand like goes like, "Oops."
Right, like I think this has to be like an anime moment, right? because otherwise, like
Yeah.
she is like she's very
Yeah.
smart about this. Like the only way you can pull this sort of thing off is if you bump into her violently enough that like the movement of that is going to distract her from literally taking a dagger out from the inside of her clothes and switching it with another dagger, right?
Maybe it's like you do
Okay.
the thing where you throw food up in the air. You like stand up, throw food up in your air, it like hits you on the top of the head. You like
You know what?
Stumble,
I
fall into her. Yeah.
I don't even think it hits him. I think he just goes up and he like throws it the wrong way, and he like is leaning too much and then falls on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's awkward for anyone who doesn't know what's happening, right? It's just like, why? Oh man, Audrey's
I mean,
on top
we
of
know
this
what's
woman,
happening.
like-
It's still awkward.
Yeah. But when you get up off on from on top of her, I think she doesn't know that it's happened,
Yeah.
but she's certainly like, that was weird. But yeah, I think the successful rolls mean she doesn't suspect that that's what you were doing. And if you would like to now confront her or call a meeting or whatever you like to do, she will not have the dagger. So yeah, Audrey, as soon as you touch it, you definitely feel like a coldness, like there's like a wrongness to this thing. And just for funsies, I don't know what this is yet, so let's add in a fun little twist to this. Make a wisdom save.
Oh, what?
Another cursed blade.
He's holding it. He's not even trying to use it.
Let's just see.
happened
I don't
last
think it's
time
like
with
you're
the
gonna
blade
die or
too.
anything, but
You literally told me to roll the save that I have a 0 in. That
very
16
good.
is freaking awesome for me.
16
I'm
is
like,
pretty good
oh.
for you.
I'm like, oh great, here we go. I'm gonna roll like a 2 or something or 4.
If 16 succeeds, it has to be that was the DC. Trying to decide. I'm trying to decide what would happen if you failed this. Like what like, 'cause I think the idea is that it has some sort of safety on it where it's like someone who's not supposed to have, because this is like the sort of thing that the demon overlords are passing down to the Crimson Fleet captains, and only particular people are given access to these things. And if you grab it and you're not supposed to have it, it does something bad to you. That's the idea that I'm thinking here. What do you
Hear
think,
me out.
Jordan?
I have Mage Hand, and I probably used a bit of Mage Hand to do this.
Mm.
And I
Isn't
mean,
the ma-
especially because like what am I saying? Because
Basically, you're
of
saying you don't want to touch
because
it.
of Curse Blade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I
because
think
of
it's
Curse
fine.
Blade's passed.
Yeah, I think Audrey would probably have enough knowledge about this thing with a 38 that you got before to know that this is going to happen. But now we know. I think if you touch the blade, bad things will happen. So this is Audrey tucking it into a pocket or something.
Well, Audrey has a bag of
or your
holding.
sheath, right? Or your bag of holding, yeah. With Mage Hand, and you know that if you touch it, bad things will happen. So don't touch it. That makes sense to me.
Sound the alarm, call a meeting.
Yeah, that's the question. Is it town meeting? Is that
Wait,
It's time for his funeral. Everybody gather around.
maybe like wait a few minutes so it doesn't seem too suspicious.
Oh,
that we
yeah.
just came back and left the
immediately run to call the town meeting?
Well, this
You
has
guys
been fun.
Yeah, exactly. This has been fun. Hey, do you want to do a town meeting? Let's do that right now. Is that what's next though? Is like calling a meeting?
Again,
is
I
it
think
literally
it's-
like the funeral and then you just because like I don't know if everyone is like obliged to go to the funeral though, right?
What if we did town meeting and then funeral? And then it's like, this was actually a murder.
So basically, you're saying call the town meeting and say like there's something about like that we need to talk about before the funeral happens, and then hey, you can all stay for the funeral after we do the town meeting.
Yeah, if you want to
Sure.
stay, you can stay. 'Cause
Instead of
after
the
a funeral,
barbecue
you
being
don't wanna-
after the funeral, we're having it before.
You
Right,
don't
right.
want to go to a town meeting after you just attended a funeral.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so I think this is still one final roll. If you fail this, it's like she's not going to fall for it, and you'll have to confront her here. It's not going to be she slips away or escapes somehow. But it will be you can
It will
see
turn
that she's
into a
not falling
confrontation.
for it, right?
Right.
So one last roll for her. This will set the DC of the deception check that someone has to make. 29.
Oh my gosh. Wait. Hold on. I would just like to point something out here. Okay, this
Yes.
is for insight, correct? She is
Yes.
not necessarily good at insight.
We've already
Insight
established
is wisdom.
she's rolled D12 for, she's rolled a plus 12 for
Everything.
insight.
For
Or like stealthy
everything so
things.
far.
Yeah,
But insight is
I've
not
just
necessarily a roguey thing. I'd just like to point that out.
I mean, yeah, she could just have a back. What I'll do is I'll make sure that the character sheet I make has these all assigned in the. And also,
You've
keep
given
in
her
mind-
a D12
mind,
for
keep in mind, keep in
deception.
mind,
Still,
mind,
sleight
keep
of
in
hand. I'm just saying. It's a
I'm
lot.
not going to make a player character sheet for her. This is an NPC character sheet over which I have complete control.
I'm
for
just
the
saying, a plus
challenge
12 for an
of the
insight.
game,
She must have a really high wisdom as well. Like, wow,
GM
this is
fiat.
I'm just saying.
Yep, that's fine. You may complain to the void all you want.
I will complain to the void.
Does that mean you're
So-
the void, Caleb?
Can anybody
Yes.
even beat that with deception? I have a +7.
You do good at
Plus
critical.
5.
Oh, I have a 0.
Don't look at
I
me.
mean, any of you can still
I mean,
beat it
the
with
difference
critical.
between you rolling it and me rolling it is really nothing because we have to.
You both have
Everybody
to
has
get
a
a 20.
critical.
Yeah.
Can
No
we have
matter what.
Delegate say it then?
I mean, to be
Does
honest,
does
if
anybody
you all
have,
work together, you can get advantage on it, right?
Does anybody have? Oh, I guess yeah.
But still with advantage. I mean, I guess unless somebody gives guidance, like
I have one more bardic.
it's still like
You can do Bardic.
Guys,
What
So-
is Lyris deception? Because maybe I'd just be like, hey, like,
Lyris.
you're the messenger. Go tell it.
And guidance, since it has verbal components, I don't think works in a stealthy situation. Most of the
Li-
situations we've used
Lyris
guidance,
is plus 10.
Okay,
That's not
so Lyrith needs to make this
so
deception.
Lyrith. But okay, the difference is Lyrith can't. If
Give herself a
Lyrith
bardic.
doesn't roll, she can give a bardic, which is a D8 to somebody
Right,
else.
right, that's true.
Oh, that's true.
And I also can
And
give one
Who
bardic.
has the
I was
highest
about to say,
perception
'cause if-
besides that?
What?
I think
Who has
it's
the highest
Anna.
perception? Is it
Anna.
you besides?
It's me or Lavinia.
Yeah, let me check Lavinia too.
Lavinia's is a +7.
Lavinia might make sense because she's.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
just worried she's going to attack Lavinia, though. That's the
She has a
problem.
+7.
Hey, if she attacks Lavinia, she at least doesn't have the danger blade.
If she attacks Lavinia, it's a very clear attack on the whole city. So it's a very quick, like, she attacked Lavinia, so we had to kill her.
It's 1v7 at that point.
Okay.
If-
All right.
like,
I mean, if
people have-
Lavinia will do it, then why not?
And-
I mean, yeah, that makes sense for Lavinia to do this role, right?
Yeah.
Can we
But
just
then,
be like still close by though? Like, or
Yeah.
I mean, I figure we're all getting food. We're just all
Yep.
here to eat.
oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess she
And
just
I would
comes in right
probably-
after this whole
yeah.
thing.
I'd probably be chiming in being like, oh yeah, that makes sense to have a town meeting before the funeral because then we're all gathered there. Like, whatever. Like, just to
Yeah,
support
and
whatever she's
Lavin-
saying.
Lavinia would probably make it somewhere along the lines of, we need to talk a little bit more about like our plans for when the Crimson Fleet comes. Luna, since you were a capture on their ship, if there's anything else you can remember, I'd love for you to be there. Like that would be the simple thing she says, right? Yeah. So I'll make this. You can give her advantage, and then bardics and guidance and stuff, right?
Guidance. Well, I don't.
Guidance.
Think
Yeah, that's true.
makes-
Guidance would be a little obvious.
Yeah.
So.
But just beforehand, we could have
Ooh, well, good thing she
20
had advantage.
Okay, a
and then
advantage.
D6 and a D8.
Still possible,
D6.
but we'll see. All right, D6.
Ah,
Whoa.
ah,
All right,
no,
26.
she needs
She needs
three?
a 4, right?
4.
Or-
She's 4.
she's a
She's
4.
4. She's 4.
Or no, sorry, yeah, 3 because it needs to hit 29. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice.
Just
Beat it by
barely.
one,
Once again, just
twice.
barely.
See, isn't this more
Lavinia!
interesting than if I had made her be bad at insight? Come on. Okay, so yes, this is Lavinia managing to pull this off, but I think we should take a break here, and then we can come back, town meeting, and you guys can confront her or do whatever you would like in whatever
I
way
would
you
like to stand
do
right
it.
next to her so I can grapple her when
Sure,
she
sure.
inevitably tries to run away.
Sounds great. All right, we'll be right back with more Terra Invicta right after this break, and we will confront Luna Mendez. Good work, guys. That was a solid investigation, Cheers all around. We'll be right back.